Forgiveness, it's something that you are. It's not really just something that you do. How can you be forgiveness? How does it help you? How does it help your heart? Well, people can wrong us all the time, but maybe we didn't choose that. Maybe we didn't want to feel crappy. Maybe we didn't want to hold a grudge about them and against them, but we judge their actions and we judge them as people that, oh, you did this thing to me however many years ago, however many days ago, you should X, you should Y. Let's just take a break from all that. What about just pure love? What about just being love and not needing excuses for it? We're human. We make mistakes. We have stress. Sometimes we deal with it well, sometimes not. Sometimes we're smart, sometimes not. Sometimes we tune into each other, sometimes we're overwhelmed with the day-to-day. If you really truly want to have more loving relationships and strengthen those that you have, try being forgiveness. Try embodying forgiveness. You know, a lot of times I talk with people when I'm giving individual healing sessions and they say, David, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, this person in my past affected me in such and such a way. And I can never forgive them for it. Like, really? You can never forgive them? Why? Now, let's take a strong example, because small examples like, oh, he said he would bring me an apple and didn't. Obviously, that's no big deal. But the stronger examples are of, say, like abuse. And a lot of us, depending on how we define that word, have experienced it or know somebody who has experienced it. And in healer school, in all my trainings and all my work, when I give workshops, when I work with people one-on-one, when I get feedback on videos, when I just hear stories around the world, this is a theme that keeps coming up. So I'd like to offer to just pop out of soul interpretation in psychology. And what I mean is, we are souls, spirits living a material experience, yeah? But if we get lost in that material experience, we get lost in our psychology, then we don't really think about the greater spiritual purpose. We just think about how we were wronged and how we should be made right. But, maybe that experience helped you grow. Maybe that experience helped you look deep within yourself. Maybe that experience put you on a life path where you made certain friends, where you built certain skills, where you learned to claim your identity as yourself. You learned how to set boundaries. And that lesson, as hard or painful as it was, served you better in life. Maybe you're watching this at a certain time when you're just hearing somebody's story or just thinking about your story for the first time. And so I'd like to offer you this interpretation, this possibility, this option, this idea, this offering. Maybe you chose this. Maybe before this incarnation, before you went into a body, when you were viewing all your past lives, you said, this life, I want to grow in a certain way. I want to experience physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, whatever it is. Because I know that that will lead to this. And that soul who would perpetrate that abuse made an agreement with me before this lifetime, before this incarnation began, to do that. That they would sacrifice whatever they would sacrifice for the consequences of doing that. Maybe they would feel guilty, maybe they would be in prison, whatever it is, because that's what they wanted to learn too. And even if this might seem far-fetched, just take a second and think about it. If you really want to take spirituality seriously, it's not just ideas to make you feel good, even though that's definitely a benefit. It's realizing who and what we are. We're here for a school. And if we take this school too seriously, it can cramp out the fun, it can cramp out the style. Who wants to live years and years saying, oh, I was abused, therefore I get to feel sad, and I get to be fearful, and I get to validate and choose this victim mentality. Now, if you need safety, if you need protection, get it, no matter what. I'm obviously exaggerating something because a lot of us hold on to our wounds longer than necessary. After the original thing is finished, after the original incident is over, get therapy, get healing, get safety, get whatever you need. But mentally realize that it is your choice. It's your choice how often you think about it and how you think about it. And if you've ever looked at affirmations, if you've ever stared at your own eyes in the mirror and said, I can do this, or if you've ever written down affirmations and said, I will achieve this goal. I will wake up at this time. I will go to the gym. I will lose weight. I will get different clothes. I will make new friends. I will stop talking to certain friends that don't empower me. Whatever your goal is, I will, when I catch myself thinking about what happened, I'll breathe. And I'll say thank you. And I'll focus on what's truly important. And I'll focus on the experience I want to create in my life. So right now with me, enough of me talking, let's do an exercise together. And I'm just going to share a few things and pause, and sorry for the shaky cam, but I'd offer to you to close your eyes if you can, and just think in whatever way you can of something that agitates you but doesn't overwhelm you. And just think of that little stressor. And if you want to close your eyes, if that will help you, go ahead. That's what I'm going to do. And just think of something that happened, maybe something recent. This is building a forgiveness muscle. And just think of something that bothered you, and think of where you hold that tension in your body. For a lot of us, it's in our upper shoulders. Just take a deep breath into that part of your body and sigh, verbally sigh. Go, and let it out. Let's do it 3 more times. It can be tough sometimes, but you feel better. Sound is vibration. Vibration shakes things up. It releases the stored cortisol. It releases the trapped emotion. It releases the trapped energy. So you notice when you do that, you may not feel as much tension. And when you think about what happened recently, it's like, oh, that happened, but I'm over it. Today's a new day. So while it might be different from whatever you were thinking about in the beginning of this video, just look at them as a continuum. Maybe what happened the other day gave you 5 points of stress, and maybe that significant life event gave you 80 points of stress. So maybe you have to do the breathing exercises. Come on, what's 80 divided by 4? 20 times. You could do that in 10 minutes if you really felt it. You could do it once a day over 20 days. That's saving a lot of money to therapists. And not to say this is a one-size-fits-all, and not to say this will absolutely, completely change your life exactly as you want it to. But if you believe it can, then it can. Because my friend and fellow soul, my fellow magician, that is how a lot of magic works. There's a lot of documented data about the placebo effect. And the placebo effect is, if you feel like and think like something will shift you, it will. There's a lot of documented cases. If you look up Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, You Are the Placebo, there's cases of people with schizophrenia, with chronic pain, with physical wounds in their body, all sorts of things. And they took a pill that was sugar or chalk, and their symptoms disappeared. And the only thing that shifted was their mind believing it worked. So you could look up the vibration of your voice. You could look up sound healing. You could look up emotional release. You could look up EFT with sound. So this is EFT tapping on the chest and making a sound like is also tapping on the chest, but from the inside. And if for some reason you are unable to speak or make that sound either in life or in this moment, you can visualize it, and you can visualize feeling it. So I hope this was helpful for you. I love offering content like this and offering support like this. Please tag or share, just to share this with anybody who might appreciate it. And if you want to be more involved, have an energetic exchange, hear more techniques like this. I make a lot of stuff because I love this work, and this is my purpose, to teach spiritual growth through magic. Magic is the science of applied consciousness. Arthur C. Clarke called magic any sufficiently advanced technology. And as we're learning all these technologies, we can still use the word magic, but it changes. But magic is fun, so I like to use it all the time. So, if you'd like more stuff, you could go to youtube.com/magicisreal. You could also go to magicalgoldenage.com/media. A lot of stuff there. You could also sign up for the newsletter for Wizard School, where you get a few things every week. I try to be very chill in my emails, just to send 2 or 3. And just, follow me and share the love in whatever way you feel. So thank you so much for your time, and just, you can do this.